Okay, let's get us back into it then.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Welcome back, Jordan.
And you, sir?
What have you been up to this week?
Just back into pre-season, really. Got absolutely dicked on Saturday by Crew Alex. 6-0.
6-0?
6-0. I've never been beat 6-0 in my life, so...
Did you play as well?
Played first 45. I actually did alright myself.
What score at half time? Please say 6-0.
Nah, 3-0 it was.
3-0.
Yeah. They just brought a different 11 on second half and still beat us 3-0. It was a very good team, to be fair. So, and we've got a few new lads gelling. It's going to take them a while to adjust to how we play. And
so you just got dicked. You got thrashed. Yeah. There's no excuses.
The gaffer's not happy, so he got us a game on last night.
Atherton Callers
that we should have won and we drew 2-2.
2-2, I saw that.
So it's not been a great start, but
the thing is though, pre-season you need to get all the crap out of the way, don't you?
Yeah.
So any mistakes, like I say, lads, it's a time for you to gel. It's not really about results. It's more about obviously getting the team ready for the first game of the season.
I'm just working on my fitness, and I think the major thing we need now is a night out with the lads that have just signed. You know what I mean? Just to get us
like
all,
a bonding session.
Yeah, together.
Not back to Isle of Man though. You're banned from the island, aren't you?
No, we can't get back to Isle of Man.
Police are still looking for you. The stolen car.
Yeah, fuck them. So what have you been doing?
I played for. I don't know how I got this title,
I don't know how I didn't get the call up.
Because I'm going to tell you why you didn't get the call up. Because it's all in the name. Salford Legends.
I'm the biggest legend Salford have had.
Oh, whatever. Loser. So yeah, I played for Salford Legends in on the rooftop of Hotel Football. Yeah. Like a big five-a-side competition.
Didn't want to come anyway.
You weren't invited. That was good. It was really good. It was like for a charity. And then it was obviously a Salford team, and then a load of businesses from around Manchester could enter a team. But it was it got quite tasty as well.
Yeah, it will do in there. It's quite.
It's a tiny pitch, yeah, and it was red hot because it was baking hot. So your first couple of games, it was nice and friendly, like passing it around. Towards the end, there were challenges flying in. I've got to mention Callum Gardner, who let his side down. He got sent off in the final.
For what?
He got sent off in a charity do.
Lost his head?
He just lost his head. To be fair, you'd have done it before, when you're like into the referee's head. So I'm whispering stuff to the ref all the time because they were complaining every foul. He was like, fucking hell, ref. And I was going, ref, don't let him speak to you like that. It's a charity do. Come on, you're doing this off your own bat. And he's going, yeah, I'm not standing for it. And then I was going over to Callum going, fucking hell, how bad's this referee? You're not getting anything, are you? I was like, he's cheating you out of this game. So I was just nibbling.
Basically cheated, yeah.
Yeah, basically cheated. Callum lost his head, swore at the ref, called him a cheat, and then got sent off. And then we end up dicking him in the final.
Decent.
So we won it. Salford Legends won it. There were me, Danny Webber, Jason Jarrett, Stevie Howson.
Fucking Howson, Salford Legend.
Howson got in.
Oh my god.
Instead of you.
Yeah, well.
So I put a lovely. I think I sent you a lovely picture of me and my medal, didn't I?
Yeah, did. Seen that.
So it was me stood naked with just my medal on. I'm not telling you where I hung it. But Jordan and the lads got the picture.
Where was you then? Did you get a room at the hotel?
Yeah, we got a room at Hotel Football. Afterwards, it was like a band and free beer and stuff like that. So it was a really good day.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll let you come and watch next year.
I didn't want to go.
Come and watch us.
Don't become a lad in his hotel, Gary Neville, to be fair.
Probably not. No, he's got decent standards. So, guest, who have you got for us?
Well, it's an English-born Welshman, if I'm correct, and he had the choice of playing for either Wales due to his dad, England because it was his birthplace, Italy through his grandparents, Puerto Rico through his grandparents, and America through his mum.
Decent. Who did he choose?
Wales.
Brilliant.
So I think that was his first mistake, but we'll let him tell us about it. So Daniel Nardiello.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. You're close. I mean, that's what LinkedIn said. Not LinkedIn, what's it? Wikipedia, that's what it says. But I actually, when I was playing for QPR, the Puerto Rico manager rang me up and asked me, I've read that you're eligible to play. Can you come over? And I was like,
Job.
you know what, I'd love to. I mean, get to travel over to that part of the world, every now and then to play these international games, but it's just not true. There's no Puerto Rican in my family whatsoever. So I'd have loved to have played for Puerto Rico and managed to go over there every now and then or every season, but unfortunately no, it was just someone made that up on Wikipedia and it made its way to the Puerto Rican manager and he gave me a call.
That's class.
Yeah. And the American thing's not true either. My mum's not American, so I don't know, that again, that's a lie. So it was just Wales, Italy and England were my three
right.
Are you still choosing the worst one?
Fucking Wikipedia's done me there.
Well, you were telling me before that when you Googled him, obviously, like we do, all our guests, doing a bit of research.
Yeah.
First thing when you typed in Daniel Nardiello, what came up?
Daniel Nardiello's wife. What? Can you explain that one as well?
Yeah, it's a weird one. You're not the first person to say that. Everyone thinks we've had some kind of magazine shoot or something like that over the years, but
the Welsh Beckhams,
yes, God knows. But you type in my name, my wife pops up in our wedding photos for some reason. It's a weird one.
There's no wedding night photos, is there?
Well, nothing happens.
It looked a nice day, to be honest.
Oh, it was amazing. Yeah, it was amazing. The in-laws put on a great do for us. So, but yeah,
the Puerto Ricans.
There you go. Yeah.
There was a few where you just like necking your missus. It was brilliant.
Really?
Yeah.
You've had a good look at it.
Yeah. Well, I just said you were meant to do research. You just went off on a tangent for about an hour just looking at your missus' photos.
She's better to look at. So,
so anybody googling Daniel Nardiello, you know what to look for.
So where did you start football? What made you start? Why did you start?
So as you probably know, my dad was a pro.
Yeah.
My uncles were pros as well, so they played professional football. It kind of ran in the family.
Was that a bit of pressure growing up?
Not really. It was more of a I'm going to be better than all of you. I'm going to achieve more than all of what they did. So it was more of a kick up the backside to get me going, and I loved it. My dad played for Coventry. My uncle played for England under 21s and Shrewsbury and a couple of other clubs. My other uncle played for Coventry, got injured. So it was good. It was interesting. It was just a football family, and I loved it growing up.
Yeah.
You had a decent start then. Yeah, obviously, it's
good genes.
Good genes, as you say. Yeah. That's probably why he made it as a pro. Your dad played Sunday League, didn't he?
My dad was decent, to be fair.
He obviously didn't pass there through anything for the genes, then, did he?
My dad is actually the most capped player for Ramsbottom United ever.
That's a Rammy legend.
Yeah,
brilliant.
He's a Rammy legend, isn't he?
That's as far as he got though. So he's a piss can.
Is it who's manager Rammy now? I got a phone call a couple of seasons back actually to come along and play for Ramsbottom. Obviously with work and stuff, I couldn't commit to it.
That have been?
I'm trying to think who it was, but it's round the corner from where I live.
Mark Fell, yeah.
Yes,
Mark
it was.
Fell,
yeah.
He's gone to Lancaster. Yeah, he is
Lancaster.
Is it Lancaster now?
Yeah. Did you not fancy it now?
I don't think my body could have done it anymore. To put on a bit of timber as you do when you finish playing football, and work. It was too busy, so I couldn't. And with two kids as well, it was too much to take on really.
What are you doing for work now? What have you moved into then after football?
Yeah, so I'm a financial advisor. Most of my clients, majority of my clients do tend to be lads in the football world because that was my network and that's who I know, is what I've known for the last 20 odd years. So I do have a lot of footballer lads as clients and it's great.
What kind of advice would you give then? What, as in like how to manage the money or what to put the money into, that kind of stuff?
Yeah, first and foremost, to make sure they're protected. I like to know that they've got the career-ending insurance in place and they've got like a life cover or critical illness cover in place as well to make sure if they've got a mortgage or whatever it may be. But on top of that, then it's the investment and saving side, so tax-efficient savings, utilising all their allowances and making sure that they've got enough money when they retire, i.e. 34, 35, they can start a business, they can retire forever, they can study, or they've got a bit of leeway in terms of when they start their new job, that they've got enough cash there, they don't have to struggle to pay all their bills and stuff like that.
Because obviously everybody hears about horror stories of pros who have been in the game 20 years and then they're bankrupt when they retire, and that's because of obviously you'd have had it at clubs where people come into the club and they're selling 8 houses in Jamaica or Barbados. And
it's true though,
it is, and lads have lost like millions of pounds, haven't they? So it's good to know that. Like I'd have thought that like career-ending insurance and stuff like that would all be covered through PFA and stuff like that. But can they obviously bring out?
You cover up to a certain
ones.
amount with the PFA, so you get 25k with the PFA if you have to retire from football. Now I know obviously 25k is a lot of money, but if you're earning £3 a week, say, or £4 a week, 150, 200 grand a year, 25k is not going to go a long way, is it?
That's
so
what,
you
that's
need
what
that
I got when I
cover.
retired.
Yeah, exactly.
I had to retire obviously through the blood disease. That's what I got.
I remember. Yeah.
But I was on more than that a year.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was on double that a year, so it's not
See,
even.
I just need to get into the league
wage.
and just get my
Get into the
25.
league and retire.
Someone just sign me up.
Yeah.
I won't make a noise. I'll just stay in the background.
You got more chance of laying an egg. So where did you? Obviously, you've got into that now, but let's try and go back to the beginning. Where did you first start off at?
So as a young lad, I was at Wolves. So as a schoolboy, I was at Wolves. It was local to where me and my family were from. I loved it there.
Can tell by the accent.
Yeah,
He's got a little twinge.
The Black Country accent. Yeah. It's still there. If you listen to my mates, it's horrendous. But I've still got it. Been in Manchester for 20 years. I've lost it a little bit. But yeah,
It's a good job you didn't listen to a couple of podcasts back because he was hammering the Brummie accent.
Was it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, just say it was the worst.
Yeah, it's got, my missus hates it as well. I don't think there's many people
not a
that
sexy
want
one,
it.
is
No,
it?
it's not. It's not at all.
You'd never hear a James Bond, would you? What are you, James Bond? So you started off at Wolves.
Mm-hmm.
So how old was you then when you went there?
I think so. I was probably signed for them when I was 12. I know it's a lot younger nowadays, but when I was younger, I think I signed, the schoolboy forms at 12 to 14. I then got noticed by the FA National School in Lilleshall. I don't know if you remember that place. So I got scouted and I went along to the trials and ended up managed to get there. So I was there with the likes of Jermaine Defoe. It's probably the most famous one.
So that was the one where, years ago, all the best lads from all the academies got invited down, didn't they? And it was was that to play for England, weren't it?
Yes, it was classic. It's called Lilleshall, the National Football School. 16 of supposedly best lads at that age group.
It started off at something like 72, didn't it? Then it went down.
I was more than that. Yeah, it was 100. So you did regional ones. So you did the north, northeast, northwest, East Midlands, West Midlands, and then London and all that. So and we had the last set was at 72, and then went down to the final 16.
Right,
so
brilliant.
There was some unbelievable talent that weren't picked, and I was lucky enough to.
Yeah. So did you feel like you was good enough to be there? Was you very good at that age?
Yeah. So it's probably. My career went downhill after that, but yeah, it was. I felt at the time I was playing for England schoolboys. I was, I found football at that level quite easy. I scored lots of goals for Wolves, and when I went there was me, Jermaine Defoe, Leon Knight, and Craig Coates, the strikers, and I could quite clearly see Jermaine Defoe and Leon Knight. They were special. They were special. Oh yeah, they were class. But I did actually think I was number 3 behind them, even at the final stages. So I was confident I'd get picked. They picked Craig Coates as well, which was my roommate United. He actually, unfortunately, never made it in the game. But the likes of Leon Knight and Jermaine Defoe obviously speaks for themselves what they achieved.
Yeah.
So there were a lot of good players in our group, and it was as a 14-year-old leaving home and going to live with a group of 15 lads. It's
an eye opener, I bet, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, some of the stories that I probably shouldn't go into there. It was crazy, but it was good fun. It was good fun.
So you've got off the back of that, you've ended up going to Man United. Yeah. So how did that happen?
They basically, I had quite a few clubs as I was, one of the better lads at my age at that time. I had quite a few lads after me clubs after me, and the two that I was mainly considering were Blackburn and Man United at the time. Blackburn were, they were, up there in the Premier League as well. Yeah. But Ferguson invited my parents to a hotel near West Brom where they were playing an away game on the Saturday. My mum and dad met him on the Saturday morning.
No way.
And
did you go as well?
I didn't go, no, because obviously it wasn't.
You just wanted to speak to the parents.
Yeah, they wanted to speak to my parents, and he met them before. I think it was West Brom. It could have been Birmingham, but it was a Midland game. And he had a chat with them, and since then it's like you've got to go there. It shows the level of detail that guy went into to get young players through the door. And it actually appeared, I think it was in the Times newspaper. They reported that Man United Ferguson had spoken to a young lad's parents before a game. So
bloody hell! So what was the reaction from your mum and dad then? Imagine that.
I don't know what he said, to be honest.
Yeah, couldn't understand a word.
Well, actually, he actually rang the house as well. So my sister answered the phone when he rang the house. And she was like, Dad, some guy's on the phone, I can't understand the word he's saying, he's asking for you. So it turned out to be Alex Ferguson. So she still laughs about that today. And yeah, it's like I said, the level of detail he went into to get young lads at the club was phenomenal, really.
That's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's brilliant. So that was obviously the deciding factor, was it?
Oh yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, the contract was good as well. It was Manchester United. It was, during the likes of Beckham, Scholes.
How old are you then?
I was 14. So 14, yeah, so 14, and then obviously I signed professional. Well, I went there after my last 2 years at Lilleshall and went there, but I was signed to United whilst at Lilleshall, yeah.
So you'd obviously had to move up. Did you move up on your own?
Yeah.
Digs?
Yeah. So I was in Digs first of all in Salford when they were at the Cliff.
Yeah.
And we moved over to Carrington, and I moved over to Sale, and I was in Digs there for a few years as well.
So who were some of your teammates then at United?
Teammates, the lads that have probably made it the best. There was Danny Pugh. He was in my age group. He's probably the most successful. John Rankin.
Is that Bournemouth?
No, that's different Pugh.
He's a different Pugh.
Leeds. Leeds was probably his biggest club. But he's Stoke as well. He had a good few years at Stoke as well. So he played in the Premier League, a lot of games in the Championship, and I think he's still playing. Actually, I think he's at Port Vale.
Right.
Funny enough, he probably was one of the worst players at 16 when we went in there, and yet he's the one who's been the most successful. Earned the most money, paid for the better clubs.
We've said that a few times. It can happen like that, though, can't it?
It's just
someone just
It's weird how like lads develop. Like you said yourself, at 14 you see lads who are the best in England.
Yeah.
Then at 18 they're not with a club. It's strange, isn't it?
I think the England captain we had at under 16 level, what was his name? Something O'Brien. And he played for the age above himself for England the year before, then he was captain for our age group, and he went to Liverpool, and then I didn't hear of him since, and he was brilliant, and it's crazy how quickly.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
It shows how tough it is to make it as a professional footballer as well.
I think I saw a stat on Twitter this morning, and it said.
It's not one of these all things again.
I don't know whether it's true. It works 60% of the time, every time. No, but have you seen? It was something like 0.12% of lads who get signed on make it to the Premier League. So it's like just over 1%, and that's not from lads who are playing football. That's lads who are signed on
at 17,
at 17, 18 year old.
It's crazy.
Like just over 1% ever make it to the Premier League.
And it's a ruthless world to be. As you both know, it's ruthless.
Yeah.
You can be a fan favourite, club favourite, manager favourite 1 minute, the next minute you've got no club. There's no loyalty in football. That's one thing I've learned. Players are expected to be loyal to clubs and stuff like that, but there's no loyalty from clubs.
I do feel like it's getting to a point now where players really have to look after themselves. They have to put them and the families first, because like I've explained to some of my lads, in like 5 years' time, that club's not going to still be paying you because you've had to retire or something's gone wrong. They're not going to go, do you know what? You're a good lad, him. We'll carry on paying him. That's it. It's so ruthless.
Unless you're earning 20s, 30s, 40s plus a week, then you can afford to be loyal or take maybe 5-10 grand less than what you could get elsewhere. But if you're you're like a Championship, League 1, League 2 player, even the lower leagues, you're not gonna. You can't turn down an extra £1 a week or £2 a week or even an extra 500 quid a week.
500 quid a week's a lot of money to
turn
turn down. Do you know what I mean?
You can't do it. And that's my advice to any young lads coming through the game now. Put as much hard work, play for as long as you can, work as hard as you can, get as much money as you can, because it doesn't last forever. It's over in a shot.
But that's the thing. Like lads who'll have a career in League 1 and League 2 all their life, when they get to 35, they haven't earned enough money to retire. You know what I mean? So they're looking at something else. So you've just got to enjoy it. And if you're not going to play at the elite level, you've got to think that I've just got to make as much money out of the game as I can. And I don't mean by being like what I suppose I can only say like by being a twat. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, I don't mean being that. Just get the best career you can.
But you're looking after yours and your own, looking after your family, your kids. You've got to pay your mortgage. If you're working as a lawyer, and you got a lawyer down the road in Manchester who's paying you £100 a year, but then a law firm in London's going to offer you £250. Where are you going to go?
Yeah. That's what sometimes the fans don't understand, do they?
But what about, so say you're getting £1,000 a week at a club, but you're on the bench, and another team offer you 700, but you're playing every week. What would you do?
See, that's a good question. That's a really good question. I suppose it all depends on the stage you are in your career and where your life. If you're a young lad, go and play for 700
I would
quid.
always go and play.
100%. But if you're a 29, 30-year-old, 33, 34, coming towards the end of your career, you've got a family and a mortgage. You're gonna stay at that club. I made the mistake of going to Plymouth to try and enjoy my career, make my career last a little bit longer. Didn't play any games while I was there. It was a nightmare. Hated every minute of it. And after that, I was kind of forced into starting a job. I didn't want to go scrapping around the lower leagues for X amount of money, where I thought it's best to start my new business, get going, start my new career. And that's the perfect answer to your question. It all depends on where you are at.
He's kind of fabricated a bit there. Like, he's got a decision to make. He's been offered 75 quid instead of 90 quid. He's added a couple of zeros onto that question.
1 0.
So yeah,
dickhead.
So obviously went to Man United, and it says obviously, I think like you were telling us before that the price tag for obviously such a young player, it could have gone up to quite a lot of money, couldn't it?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think so. I remember it because we had a tribunal. Had to go to a tribunal with for Wolves and Man United, and I went along with Maurice Watkins, who was quite high up in the United side. And the advice beforehand was just play down yourself. We don't want to pay too much, sort of thing, which is fine. It's normal. I expected that, so I had to go in. Had to go through all my youth career, what I'd achieved, that kind of thing. And anyway, at the end of it, they said it's going to go up to 1.2 million, I think it was, but initial fee of 200,000. That was all dependent on first team appearances, and I made 4 first team appearances for United, and the first instalment was at 5, so they obviously didn't get that. So I think, do
you think Alex dropped you?
Gitty fuck, man. Not paying for
fucking hell, man. This guy's on 4. Get him out.
I wish it was. I wish it was that, but no, I think it was probably because it wasn't. Couldn't quite.
Well, your debut went quite well, didn't it?
I was trying to think who was my debut against.
Hold on a minute.
Arsenal, yeah, God, Jesus, that's terrible.
Man United, you can't remember.
I was thinking that. I was thinking West Brom, but yeah, Arsenal, Highbury. So I got I was in the corridor in Carrington, and Fergie walks along. Sir Alex walks along, and he goes, "You ready for tomorrow?" And I was like, "What? No idea." Because I was really young at the time. I think I was coming up to 18. He goes, "You ready for tomorrow?" He goes, "You're coming with us." So I had to go back, get my my kit and my stuff.
Was you thinking that I'm making teas?
I was thinking what's going on. I had no idea, and I literally knew the day before. And I've travelled down on the train that afternoon with the first team, and obviously there's a few young lads there as well. So
who's in the first team? Then paint a picture. Who you're on the train with?
So there was, Scholes, he played. I remember that much. I was thinking he's the man. He was amazing. He was brilliant. He was the man. And there was quite a lot of us young lads there as well. So me and Kieran Richardson were like the last minute call ups. There was a couple of other young lads that played. I'm trying to think of the other first. I remember the first team when I made my first start against Leicester. I look back at that team recently and I was thinking, Jesus, I played with some of these players. It was a phenomenal starting 11. I was
like Cantona?
Oh God, no, he'd gone by the time I got there. I think
it's not that old, man.
Dennis Law, Georgie Bell, Bobby Sweet. Oh God.
So go on, who was this starting 11?
Must have obviously Giggs.
The Leicester one was, I think it was G Nev right back. I think Rio Ferdinand, David May, Quinton Fortune, Solskjaer, Forlan, myself, Beckham, Scholes.
Becks.
Yeah.
Thanks. David in it.
Oh, Veron came on as well. Or did he start? Yeah. So there was.
Yeah, there's only one. There's only one of them.
I didn't realise like how good that team was that I actually played in, and we beat Leicester 2-0.
Oh mate, that's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a great team.
Yeah. So you must have been 17-year-old. You must have been on like cloud 9 then.
Oh God, yeah. I remember being on the bench for the Champions League games. I was like just praying we won because it was an unbelievable win bonus as a 17-year-old kid. It was phenomenal.
But was that Maccabi Haifa?
Maccabi, so I played against them, but I was on the bench quite a lot in the Champions League because they had 7 subs in the Champions League back then, whereas they had 5 in the Premier League. So I travelled a lot with the Premier League.
Do you know what I think helped you at that age? Your name.
Yeah.
Nardiello.
Sounds alright, doesn't it?
Sounds like Brazilian.
Sounds like you're good.
Yeah. God, just stick Nardiello on there. It sounds like.
Where's he from? Wales. Birmingham. But what kind of like, because I know people would be interested, what kind of bonuses then were you looking at then? Because what was you, 17, 18?
17,
Did you have to
18.
make an appearance to get that bonus?
No, you got half the bonus if you won the game if you're just on the bench. So I mean, I think this is talking, you know, a good 20 odd years ago, you know, between 15, 20 years ago, and it was 10 grand a win back then, and it was just, you know, it was
I'd never had to sit on the bench as well.
Yeah, and it was insane. Not to mention the fact you're sitting on the bench at Old Trafford, surrounded by Ferguson, all these legend players and stuff like that. You're in a changing room with them, and just they're real people. Do you know what I mean? They're just like normal lads like us all, and I'm just sat with them, and it's like I'm in awe of them and thinking it's crazy. I'm sat with these guys, and yeah, it was a phenomenal experience. I can't really. That's
brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah.
So when did you know that you're going to leave United?
So
did you get to a point where you thought, I know I'm not going to make this level?
Yeah, because I went on loan a couple of times. I went on loan to Swansea, Barnsley a couple of times. I had a good couple of loan spells at Barnsley, scored a few goals, and I went back and had a meeting with Fergie. And this is where he was nice, because I still remember his words. I'm thinking, yeah, you're just being nice. He says, I could give you another year, you know, push you a little bit in our first team, but you know, you've been involved, but you've not really played for us. So it's probably best that you go off to, you know, a League One, a Championship club, get regular games and go from there. So it was really nice about it, you know, gave me a bit of a boost.
Was you thinking, just give me another year?
Not
really asked, Alex, but...
No, but genuinely, when I was 22, so when I left I was 22, I'd been around training with the first team all the time, went on loans. It was great, but I had to go and play. At that point, I'd hardly played any games, a couple of loan spells, and I had to go and play and make a name for myself on my own right. I wasn't good enough to make it at United. It's obviously tough to crack it there, but so it's the right thing to do.
The fact that what you did there is still unbelievable, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I think Fergie brought through 76 or something youngsters. He gave them the debut, a United debut. So I was one of them 76 or something. It was something like that. So it was
Are they the Fergie's fledglings or something
like that? Yeah. So yeah, I'm one of them.
It was in the paper, weren't it?
Yeah. So yeah, I think my dad showed me a couple of weeks back. It was a list of all the lads and over the years. So it's a bit of an honour to be part of that. To be honest,
yeah, definitely. Well, you're with some brilliant names there, aren't you? So you've left United. Who did you sign for?
Barnsley.
Gone to Barnsley. So that's 2004-ish.
You know better than me, yeah.
2004, yeah. It's your first stint.
Wikipedia does.
It's your first stint. You end up going back to Barnsley 19 times.
You were saying before you've had 16 clubs, 15 of them Barnsley.
I had 3 loans and a permanent.
Yeah, just kept going back to Barnsley.
I loved
it. I say loyal. I hammered people who were too loyal. I said that, you know, loyalty wasn't in football, but I left Barnsley to go to QPR, and I shouldn't have done. And it wasn't about being loyal. I suppose it was more about just, you know, I'd established myself in a Championship club, scored some goals, played well. I was loved by the fans. It was fantastic. I was near Manchester. You know, I travelled over every day. It was perfect for me. And I went to QPR, and it all went Pete Tong. So I probably should have stayed.
What did you go to QPR for? Was it basically just for the money?
Yeah. It was. It was a hell of a lot more money than what I was getting offered at Barnsley, and
it's hard to turn down, isn't it? It's just like what we explained then. Like I say, if you're working in a job and somebody else offers you the same job on far better money, it's not just you who has to make that decision. It's, you know, whether you've got a partner at the time, kids or whatever, you've got to put everything in. You think, well, do you know what? It's only another football team. It's the same job. I've got to take the money.
100%.
There's no way you can predict the future. You've got to just go.
Yeah.
And you think, right, well, I'm loved at Barnsley. Hopefully I can be loved at QPR. If you're not...
Well, I always think life's about challenges. And sometimes you can stay stagnant and it doesn't work out. Or you can gamble. Like I say, you go to QPR and you think, it's better money. I'll do what, like I'll replicate what I've just done at Barnsley, and I'll be another hero. And but it doesn't always work out. But you can't. I don't think you can have regrets because you'd met that decision at the time, don't you?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I made that decision. It wasn't the right decision, but you know, it is life's like that's what happens.
So who were the lads at QPR then? Why didn't it work out? Was it more?
So I went there. You know, it's a big move for me as well because I've been in Manchester for so long, and I've gone down to London. Had to get my own place, and London's just a whole new world, isn't it? Compared to anywhere. You know what it's like? It's crazy. It's like you get the bright lights of London. It means that it's relevant. So did you
get dragged into that lifestyle as well?
No, to be honest,
I've never really been like that.
I went. No, don't get me wrong. I went out when I was playing for Barnsley. I went out, but I was never like I went out on a Saturday night. And that was it. I wasn't a huge big drinker in the week and stuff like that, like some of the lads have come across over the years. I couldn't do it. I wouldn't have been able to. I was quite strict with myself. But Saturday night, if I didn't have a Tuesday game, it was fine. But I think the manager changed after a month. I got injured initially. Then the manager changed.
Who was the manager?
The ex. See, I'm rubbish with things like this. The ex Villa manager, Gregory.
John Gregory.
John Gregory took me there.
Gregory.
Yeah, so he took me down actually. He invited me down. I was actually on the way up to sign for Barnsley. I had a call from QPR and they said, "We're offering you this. Can you come down and meet us?" So I had to kind of defer going up to Barnsley and get down to QPR. He took me out on
Did you have an agent?
Yeah, had an agent at the time.
Right, okay.
John Gregory took me out in Mayfair, just the two of us. Went to an unbelievable restaurant, went to a casino. I was like,
he was showing you what you could.
And he obviously had a few quid, didn't he? And he's there on the tables, like all these £50 notes. I'm like, Jesus, what's all this? So I kind of got sucked in a lot of ways.
Putting quids on?
Oh, I didn't even gamble, mate. The minimum bet was like 100 quid. I sucked it, on a roulette spin. I was like, I'll just watch. And and then next day I went down with my agent and I was there, but my agent came along and I had to sign the contract because it was like I said, it was too good to turn down. And got John Gregory, and he was telling me all the stories about the Villa boys that he had and stuff like that, and it was fantastic. But like I say, in hindsight, I probably should have had another year at Barnsley at least, if not longer, and cemented my place in the Championship and score more goals.
So were QPR in the Championship at the time?
Both in the Championship, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, both in the Championship.
So who was you hoping to play up front with?
So it was Dexter Blackstock.
Right.
So what's the Ben Sahar? Is it Ben Sahar? So he came in from Chelsea on loan. He was the young Israeli lad. He was tipped to be, I don't know, the next George Weir or something. Yeah. But like I say, I got injured. I played a couple of games, then got injured again, and then the manager changed, and then the manager changed again. I went back to Barnsley on loan.
Right.
For 6 months, we got to the FA Cup semi-final, which was unbelievable. Shame we didn't get to the final. And then back to QPR the next year, and the manager changed again to Dowie. Dowie said he didn't want me. Even though he tried to sign with Coventry literally 12 months before, he said he didn't want me at QPR.
It's mad football, isn't it?
Honestly, people just change their opinions so quickly, don't they?
No, it was crazy. And I ended up going to Blackpool after that, and it was... I loved Blackpool. It was close to Manchester. It was great. It was a great club. The chairman was a bit of an oddball, as I'm sure you're well aware of the all time. I feel sorry for the fans, but they seem to have got through that now anyway. But... signed for Blackpool, but I was literally injured for 2 years at Blackpool, and it was just a nightmare for injury. So I had back problems and hip problems, and they just couldn't get me right. They couldn't get me right at all. And literally 2 years, we got promoted to the Prem. I got a couple of games. So it was a great team.
Is that with Holloway?
Holloway, yeah. He is what a guy he is.
Go on, tell me. You must have some stories about him.
He's just crazy. There's no other he's just crazy.
His anecdotes are brilliant.
Yeah, he's so funny, and he got the best out of all the lads. I mean, we were favourites to go down at Blackpool in the Championship, but we got promoted to the Premier League. I mean, don't get me wrong, we had Charlie Adam. Yeah. He was phenomenal that year, absolutely phenomenal. But
he was banging goals in from like 30-40 yards every week, weren't he?
Every week he had a shot from the halfway line, and that's not even exaggeration. Sometimes 2 or 3, and he scored a couple of them.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Did he tell you he was doing it though? Like,
he knew it.
Surely the lads were like,
we hammered him for it all the time.
Come on, give it a rest.
Him and is it Vaughan? What's his name?
The winger?
No, the centre midfielder, Welsh international Vaughan. He went to Sunderland after that. I called him Vaughan. I forget his first name. But them two in midfield with Keith Southern, they just ran the game. We battered teams.
Who was the striker who was on fire at that time?
So we had Burgess, Gary Taylor-Fletcher.
Taylor Fletcher was he just popped up with like a few headers.
Yeah, he scored for fun. For fun. It's the Birmingham. Oh,
yeah, the
goal tooth.
That's right.
Great player. What's his name?
Yeah.
He did
scored
really
a load of goals.
I'm trying to think of his
name. I know
name.
what you mean.
DJ Campbell, there you go.
DJ Campbell.
Brilliant, yeah, good lad as well. Good lad.
He's doing the DJ side.
Yeah, great. He's good, great lad as well. He came from the lower leagues, didn't he? I think.
Yeah, he did.
He was good lad, and he scored shitloads of goals for Blackpool and helped that season as well.
I always looked at that team and I thought the reason why you went up, and we've talked about it before, was I reckon 99%. Obviously, like, you had good players, but that team spirit just looked like it was like.
We didn't have the best team in the league. We weren't like third or fourth best team in the league, not by a long way. But we had an unbelievable manager who'd obviously had a couple of years out and just studied football for 2 years to get how he thought we'd get promoted. Did a phenomenal job. Had a great team spirit. We had a great team spirit anyway because we were at Blackpool.
Yeah.
And we our changing rooms were sheds with no central heating and stuff
you've
like
got
that. Honestly, we got paid. I mean, we were on good wages. Don't get me wrong, but we got paid 90 quid in the summer. 90 quid a week in the summer months. It was a joke. We washed our own kit. It was
up until last year. They still did that.
Yeah.
What, 90?
Even with the first team pros. Yeah. So like five grand a week. Summer comes, 90 quid.
Charlie Adams on 10, 15 grand a week.
It was what the chairman did, weren't it?
Yeah, so
yeah.
10, 15 grand a week, Charlie Adam, £90 a week for 6 weeks in the
he
summer.
was signing contracts like me, so like 9-month contracts.
They made it up, don't get me wrong. So if you were, so to keep it simple, if you were on £1,000 a week, so 52 grand a year, they would pay you like £1,200 a week in the during the season, in the off season. So you still got the same, but you got your 90 quid.
Lads won't save up for that.
Exactly.
No, before, where I'm like, get to summer, I'm like, fuck, I'm not going to get paid.
Imagine Charlie Adams on what, 10, 15 grand a week, season finishes, wanting to book a beefer. I've only got 90 quid.
Because your budget's blasted.
I have to go budget.
Well, that's it. And
that's
it was weird. It was weird. Exactly. That's why I helped the lads. Now you'd be surprised at some. I've
he was like taking tenors off DJ Campbell into an account.
I wonder why I'm sat next to Charlie Adams on Ryanair. Saw him at Butlins on the water slide.
I think he's doing all right now.
That's mad.
He's
I know they still did, but that was the chairman's rules, weren't it?
Chairman's
lads,
rules.
They're playing Blackpool on Saturday. I'm just going to say, lads, I'm on more than you now.
First game of season, it kicks in.
But yeah, I think they might have even done it in the Prem. So they're playing players. I mean, they're playing players. It was the guy from West Brom. They paid him 25 grand a year. The striker, Bednar, was it something like that? 25 grand a week, and they must have paid him again 90 quid in the summer. It's like, what is
brilliant. Might as well just say, don't bother. Just add it onto my first wage.
No, I'd love it. I'd get my wage slip, show me missus. 90 quid.
So you get
I played in Prem.
Yep. Have to go on slots in Blackpool.
Not two
I think some of the lads did. I think that's the problem.
Yeah.
Any decent initiations that you can remember?
Do you know what? The one that really sticks. I mean, the one that really sticks in my mind is the United one, because I was a 16-year-old lad and we got in this first team changing room on our first week at the club, and the ringleaders, I don't know if you'd know this or not, you might know yourself, were Ryan Giggs and David May.
Right.
They were horrible. Yeah, Giggsy, one of the funniest guys ever, brilliant at change room, and you watch him on TV and he's great on TV and he speaks really well. He's obviously the manager of Wales, but in the changing room, what a guy. He was all about the banter, and him and David May, they
see, you wouldn't expect that, would you?
So was Gary Neville. Like, if you have a conversation with Gary Neville, he's not like he is on telly. He knows exactly how to be and when to be, and he's very good at it.
It's professional, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we just got abused. Like every young lad, so I think it was 16, 17 of us. Every single one of us had to get onto the treatment table. How do you put it? We had to make love to our girlfriends. Let's put it that way. as animated as we could. Yeah, I mean, some of the lads weren't up for getting naked, but quite a few. But you know what? It got us involved with the first team.
Yeah,
it was fantastic. I remember Alan Tate. So another my age, he had a great career. He was playing the spoon game. You know the spoon game? He put the spoon in his mouth.
We see the spoon game.
Whack him on the head.
We were laughing our heads off. Mate, he didn't have a clue, so he's playing it with David May, and there's Giggsy behind him just walloping him, and he didn't have a clue. And it was so funny. And then,
if anyone don't know the spoons game, Google it. But it's basically you face each other, don't you?
Yeah.
Are you blindfolded?
No. It's just a spoon in your mouth.
But you got your head down, haven't you?
Yeah.
And you got your spoon in your mouth. You have to take it in turns to hit the other person on the head, but there's somebody who knows what's going on and the other person doesn't.
With like a wooden spoon.
There's a guy behind him. So when you go to hit the person, you whack the other person, don't you? They can't understand it, can they? They do the little tap and then they're getting whacked.
But Tate's not the brightest. Alan Tate's not the brightest at all. He just didn't have a clue. So it's a good job he made it as a footballer, actually, because God knows what he'd have done if he hadn't made it as a footballer. He's had a good career.
There are some people like that where if they hadn't made it in football, there was...
You think, what are you going to do?
I went to a school with Kieran Trippier. He was in my form, and if he hadn't made it, he was literally fucked.
Yeah.
No, and he'll admit it himself. But he always said, "Listen, I'm going to be a footballer, so fuck school." I'm not
really?
Yeah.
He's signed for Atletico Madrid now.
It's
fair play to him.
But it's a good job he made it.
Was he that good at school?
He was. He was just. He was mad. So he just like. Put a ball down. It was natural talent. He put a ball down on the yard and he'd be like, that dinner lady over there 50 yards away,
whip it.
he'll just smack her on the head every time. And it was
Really?
like,
You can see that now,
right,
don't you?
you know, like at the end when the bell's going, you just drop it and say, right, there's like a tiny, frail Year 7 girl in the corner of the pitch, and he'd just boot it at her head every time. He was that good. Or say, I think
He was that good. I mean, he was that cruel.
Anything he did,
He could ping a ball anywhere.
So like I think we went on like, you know, when you're like 16, you go to the park.
Yeah.
And he got this ice cream, and he was done with it, but it was full of ice cream. And there was a lad like 30 yards away, and he just said, "I'll hit him in the face." He's launched his ice cream, and the lad looks like a fucking unicorn. It's just stuck to it, like stuff like that. He was just unbelievable. That if he'd said it, he would do it.
Yeah.
So
That's why he put the free kick in the top corner.
I know, everyone got excited, didn't they?
Yeah. Got like every England fan does. We're going to win it. And then 2 minutes later, we're 2-1 down. Brilliant.
Kieran's fault defensively.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the top lad, to be fair. So
No, he comes across that way, to be fair, yeah. So.
Who would you say is best player you've played with?
If it's just as a one-off for a few games, 100% Paul Scholes. He was, even in training, he was just phenomenal. He could do everything, and he was just a pleasure to say I've played with. He was incredible. What a player! But that's at that level. I didn't stay at that level, so he is the best player I've played with.
Do you not find it strange that he hardly played for England?
He was playing on the left, didn't he? They put him on the left. It was just insane.
Probably England's best ever midfielder.
Yeah. 100%.
Like one of the best ever midfielders
who was it that was
ever.
keeping him out?
But it was Lampard and Gerrard.
But
you just play three of them. Or just drop one of them. It was crazy.
I changed my formation
to
play Scholes.
100%.
Like how he was. Everyone who I speak to, obviously, like I speak to some of the old United lads, and they say exactly the same thing as you. He was phenomenal. We used to play this game in training. They probably remember. You remember the school benches you had at school? Yeah.
They put it on its side, so and you were like 30, 40 yards away. And the idea of the game is for you to be able to go in and finish training. You had to ping it from 30, 40 yards. Fizzer along the ground, hit the board, the bench. He did it first time.
Could it touch the ground?
Oh yes, as long as it's like
zing
it along the ground.
Yeah.
So every time, first time, ping, and that's what I remember as a 17, 18-year-old lad of him doing that.
Yeah.
There was some lads that were terrible at it. I mean, I wasn't great, but there were some terrible ones. I mean, Luke Chadwick, Jesus. I remember he was a great player, but I remember watching him once, and he was still there about an hour later. Couldn't manage to do it. But
that'd be me that all day.
Man, isn't it?
He was, it was good. What a player he was. Yeah.
Everyone says that.
But we played him in the five-a-side games at Salford, didn't we?
Yeah.
And he was. I remember someone threw a ball up to start, and he's gone to edit one way and just let it hit the back of his head, and it dropped to Giggs, and he went and scored because we was all shuffled over there, and he just fully done it. I was like,
but he didn't have a trick. Do you know what I mean? Like, he wasn't skillful in the sense of like if you look at great players like Ronaldinho, so they can do anything with the ball, tricks, but he didn't have that. No. But he just had that where he could pick up a pocket of space, or he could find that pass. He could just.
But you were saying about Trippier before. He could do that. He could hit a tree. He could hit something from 55 yards away. And it's like.
Well, I think there's a YouTube video of Scholes there. Is it Carrington? And is it Giggs? He goes off for a piss.
Oh,
behind
possibly,
a tree, and he
I've heard
goes,
about this, actually.
Watch this, and just throws it down, pings it about 50 yards, and hits him on his back of his head while he's having a week.
Phenomenal.
I always try it, miss.
It's good. So you've, where was you at then? So you've Blackpool.
Yeah, Blackpool. Yeah.
So obviously you've had a nightmare with injury.
2 years, and 2 years of literally. I probably played. I went on loan to Oldham in that time. Played a game, got injured. I think did I go on loan somewhere else? No, I played a couple of games in the with Blackpool.
You
got
injured. To Barnsley?
No, they didn't want me back at that point.
He's been back too many times.
And then off to Exeter. I had literally had no one who wanted to sign me because I'd literally played 3 or 4 games in the space of 2 years due to injury. Exeter and Oldham were interested, to be fair, but they wanted me to go on trial. But Exeter offered me a contract and said, "Look, we'll sort your back out. We'll sort your hips out."
So what kind of issues was it? Was it just alignment, or had you got a little injury and it just kept niggling back, or what?
Yeah, so basically there's a weakness in my lower back. Simple terms, weakness in the lower back. It caused problems with my neurological system, which
carrying
meant
Scholes in that.
exactly what it was. Yeah, and I couldn't couldn't stay fit. It was a nightmare. I went to Exeter, saw a physio there. They sent me off to a specialist that they always used. He gave me these injections, and I used him up until a couple of years ago when he retired. So even when I wasn't playing anymore, I was still using this guy to sort my back out. He was phenomenal, and they sorted me out. So I've got a lot of respect for Exeter and what they did. They
you did well when you was there, didn't you? Scored quite a few goals.
Yeah.
To say you hadn't played for 2 years.
What league was that then?
That was League One, and we were 1 point off the playoffs as an Exeter team. Obviously the lowest budget in the league in League One, and we were 1 point off the playoffs. Paul Tisdale, unbelievable manager. He played me left midfield all the bloody time, but he was a great manager. He was honestly. If there's anyone I'd say that I've come across in my career that I've played under a lot, as a top manager, he's the guy. Paul Tisdale, phenomenal manager, great man.
For what reason?
He just respects you. He showed you respect. He was honest with you. I like the way he played football. It was about playing football. It wasn't lump it, boom up. And he tried to utilise me as well in the best way he could. Although he thought he was left midfield.
So what did you not complain about that? Did you just play?
No, I want to play. So if I'm playing, I'm happy. And he gave me the freedom to cheat almost, because I was never the fittest in terms of the elite fitness levels. But he gave me the that license to cheat a little bit and get him forward and manage to score a few goals. So, but top manager, and he's done.
What was that position that Pooley said about Nobby Solano? What was that called?
That was similar.
What was it called?
It sounds about right, yeah.
I don't know. It was something like left forward, something like that.
That's what I was. Yeah, I was left forward.
Like, you were it to him.
Yeah. You was left of a midfield as a 4.
Yeah.
Basically, but it was like, don't come past the halfway line. Just cheat.
If you can help. But I had Scott Goldborn behind me. I think he's at Wolves or Shrewsbury now. I mean, he's a top player as well. He's a machine. He's so fit, and he just said, just go up there. I'll deal with this. I'll deal with that. He's great to play in front of. So I know Gary Neville says Valencia just was the best right midfielder to play with because he just looked after him all the time. He's always coming back. Whereas the opposite way around, Scott Goldborn was brilliant. If you're on the left, he says, leave it to me. You just go up there and cheat and get the goals. It was a dream for me. Exactly, yeah. It was brilliant. So
he's done well to make it then if he's if he's playing for you like that.
Yeah.
He's done. You go and do that now.
Yeah. But he's a machine. He's literally a machine. He could run all day long. So he was great. Yeah.
See, like we've met a few people like that, haven't we? Who you turn up at a football club and lads are just genetically made to run, aren't they?
Well, Nikki Adams is like Nikki Adams can run all day. He doesn't look like, but he's got an engine. He can run all day, and he was a dream to play with as well. He got me more assists than anyone I've ever played with. So you mentioned best players I played with. Nikki Adams, in terms of assists for me, he assisted shitloads of my goals.
Where was that at?
Bury.
At Bury.
Yeah. And he's. And, as you've probably, you had the interview with him, as everyone's heard. What a character he is. He's a loon.
Calls himself a street rat.
He is a street rat.
That's why he can run away from police.
That's probably why. Years and years of knock-a-door run that.
He was sounding, to be fair. But right, so I've asked this question once before and got one of the best answers ever. But what sort of a striker was you?
Depends which fan you spoke to, I imagine. I scored goals. The majority of clubs I was at. It's hard to say what I was like.
Was you off the shoulder?
Yeah, so I
try and spin in behind.
I like to do. I was okay at everything. I wasn't a target man, but I was okay at coming deep, getting the ball and running with the ball. I was okay at running in behind. I was okay with the ball at my feet, and taking players on. So I was a little mixture of it all, but I wasn't excellent at anything. But I managed to score a few goals from my career. So
yeah. Have you got any goal that you specifically remember? Favourite goal?
Favourite goal, and it's not a big one, is Exeter against Plymouth. I think it was the first time Exeter played Plymouth.
Is that massive derby?
Oh, it was the best atmosphere I've ever played in.
Really? How many fans?
The stadium was full, so whatever Plymouth Argyle holds, it was phenomenal. Like, it was scary though.
Yeah. Like, I bet they were so close to you then though. I played at Plymouth. The literally crowds on the pitch in it, right?
Well, I scored a winner in the last. I literally came on in the 90th minute and I scored in the 93rd minute and we beat them 2-1.
94 if you were knackered.
Exactly.
I'm done. My back's gone.
The atmosphere and the way the fans, it sounds daft, but I still look at that every now and then because it still gives me a buzz now watching that goal.
Yeah, I bet.
But it was a local derby. They hate each other. Hated each other. You think the Man United Man City rivalry or Liverpool United, that's the worst I've ever come across. And it sounds weird being down in Devon But they hated each other with a passion.
yeah.
And
Would serve them cider.
But mate, they're horrible. Honestly, the Plymouth fans they smashed up our coach. So we're driving the coach on the way out, and we're having bricks thrown at the coach, and the window smashed. We're in there. We were shitting ourselves. And then when I signed for Plymouth on loan, Jesus, some of the abuse I got on Instagram, on social media from Exeter. People threaten my life. Honestly, like you're a this and that. Like, obviously, I don't take it serious
because you'd score the winner against them.
But they honestly, Exeter hated me for joining. Plymouth didn't particularly like me because I'd scored a couple of goals against them over the years, and obviously had a bad spell there. But mate, that rivalry is something I've never witnessed. It was a crazy rivalry.
What a feeling they'll score that goal.
Oh, it was amazing.
What was the goal like?
Yeah.
I got the ball just outside the box, took it, tried to take on a couple of players and just slotted it in the far corner with a little pass into the bottom right hand corner. But the defenders were knackered because obviously been playing the whole game. I'd come on, I was pissed off that I hadn't been playing, and poor Tisdale brought me on, expecting there to be extra time because it was in the JPT. And I've scored, and I've we just walked, and the atmosphere afterwards was just insane. My cousin got punched on the way out because he played for Torquay actually.
He didn't have a Nardiello shirt on.
No. But that's what he said afterwards. He said after the game, the Plymouth fans were waiting for the Exeter fans. I mean, he was from Torquay, and I don't even know who he supports, but he was there obviously for me.
Yeah,
he was with his pals.
So he's walking out and getting smacked.
He looked like
he does look a bit similar to me actually. Yeah, he does look similar to me.
I bet the guy's gone back to the pub going, I just smacked that fucking Nardiello. No, he didn't. It's his cousin or his uncle.
But yeah, what an atmosphere that was. And that, I mean, the playoff final goal was good as well when I scored against Swansea in the playoff final. That's obviously it was a free kick. It was a soft free kick. The keeper did me a favour, but that was the one that I remember. But in terms of how ecstatic I got it was the Exeter goal. Yeah,
brilliant.
Yeah.
And after that, you've moved back up north again, haven't you? You gone to Rotherham.
Yeah. So that, I mean. Steve Evans, what a guy he is. I mean, he's one of the big lad. One in a million.
Talking of fitness.
When I ever say Steve Evans, I always remember him running down the line after Rebel scored that one goal. Shirts coming down. I mean, what a guy. But yeah, my missus, we got married at that point, so my missus wanted to go back up north, and Rotherham offered a good contract. Yeah. And it was a no-brainer for us to go back.
But you had a decent goal scoring thing. It says 45 games, 23 goals.
Yeah, so
better than
it's decent.
1 in 2.
I loved my time at Exeter, but it was just so far away from home. And Rotherham came in, it was more money. I was back in Manchester where my wife's from, where she wanted to be. We were planning on having kids, and the kid came along not long after that, so it was close to the family, her family, so it worked perfectly. And I had a great couple of years at Rotherham. It's one of my favourite clubs that I played at. It was fantastic.
So is that first division again?
No, that was down into League 2. So I went down to League 2.
Nearly with me now.
Yeah. But I mean,
5 more leagues you'd have met Jordan.
I played with Jordan. He's
right, Jordan. Yeah, we played, haven't we?
We played together, yeah.
What was the team called?
So we played for a Jewish team from Flixton or something.
See, I thought he was Jewish just because I played in that team.
No. So we played...
Nardiello.
We got beat. That's the bad thing. We were playing this other team. We got a couple of ringers. Me and Jordan, and we still got beat. I was playing centre half.
Yeah, Manchester Jewish League. Yeah. And me and him have turned up, and they're like, "Hang on, he's played for United. He's just been on the Salford City documentary." So all he wanted to do was boot us, really, and it worked because they won.
You got beat.
Yeah, we got beat.
That's got to be a low. It's got to be a low moment in your career.
Well, it was they hadn't cut the grass.
Oh, it was horrible.
The grass was
bobbly as anything as well. Even though there was it was horrible.
It was dry, and this other team could play on it. He couldn't. He was actually very good at centre half, to be honest.
We conceded 6, but I played centre half. Yeah, I just
5 of them weren't your fault.
It's pretty much. But yeah, centre half. You centre mid that day. You centre mid, or did you?
Centre mid, and then he put me up top. But it was a good job we didn't win, to be honest. Because these lads were from I don't know.
Yeah, they weren't happy, were they?
They were rough.
Were they?
Yeah, and all they wanted to do was fight with us if we'd have beat them.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Yeah.
You lose on purpose.
So I was just like, you know what, lads? I'm not the ass.
I'm not bothered.
Yeah. You can have it.
We're just using it for fitness, and we got kicked the shit.
How many years ago was that? A couple of years ago?
It wasn't that long ago, was it?
Yeah,
18 months ago, maybe?
Yeah.
It wasn't that long ago.
I think it's when Salford let me go and I was just looking for anything.
Get some minutes.
Let Salford sign for a Jewish team in Manchester.
I remember that because they were fuming about who you were, weren't they?
Yeah.
They all recognised you. They didn't have a clue who I was, but they recognised Jordan.
I remember running down the line and all their team was on the... I'm talking like they had pit bulls and like... they were all drinking...
What, the DJ, the singer?
Mr. Worldwide.
Mr. Worldwide.
And they all had cans of Stella, and as I'm running down the wing I just heard like all of them shouting, "Smash him, fucking break his legs." And then this big centre half come over and just done me.
Did he?
And I was like, can I be arsed with this?
Yeah, it's good fun.
I was like, nah, let's have a swap.
So no chance.
Yeah, it was different, but...
So how old was you when you were at Rotherham then?
So I was
coming towards the end of your career then?
I was 29, 30 I think. It was a good contract. We made the budget that they had. We had to go up really.
Right.
And Steve Evans, he's always had decent budgets, hasn't he? Wherever he's gone, but he gets the players he wants, and we got promoted.
What's he like as a manager? Because you look at him and you think he's the furthest thing away from a manager, but he's done brilliant. To be fair, hasn't he?
Right.
Does he just get the lads playing, or is it basically he has a good budget? He just brings in 11, 14 good players.
He does have a good budget, and that's a massive factor. And to play for him, you've got to be mentally tough. Because there's some lads that have come in on loan and they've literally just crumbled. And they're obviously good talents, good players.
In what respect? He hammers you.
As Tisdale knew how to manage players. Paul Tisdale, he could manage you individually. If a player needed to kick up the arse, you got to kick up the arse. If you needed an arm around the shoulder. Whereas with Steve Evans, it was a bollocking no matter what. I scored 2 goals once before half time against, who was it? I can't remember. It was 2 goals before half time. We're winning 2-1 and I missed a sitter. He went mental at me at half time for not scoring a third. You're thinking, Jesus Christ, and some people just can't handle that.
Yeah.
He was horrible man. But since leaving football, I respect him a lot because he had his philosophy, he stuck to it, and he didn't change for nobody.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised he didn't really go
managing Leeds.
Oh, exactly. I mean, and he's been successful.
Yeah.
He's a bully in the football world. He is a bully. But I mean, I could handle it. Loads of lads could handle it. And to be honest, we had a great team spirit in that team. The only better team spirit I ever had was probably at Barnsley. But we had a great team spirit, great set of lads. He got good players in.
And you went up.
And we went up. We shed loads of goals.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
Was it like the atmosphere was good with the lads, and then as soon as he walked in, he'd be like, right, look it out.
He always tried to get involved with the lads as well.
Yeah.
A bit too much.
Mate, we hate you. We actually hate you. Just do your job as a manager. But you know, if I
he won't come to back at coach, was he? With beers and
God no. There were players in there that literally hated him.
Is it called a Hafner's pie?
I've never heard of them. Mate.
What am I thinking of?
I don't know. What are you on about?
I don't know.
About
Pucker pies. Gaffney pies in it, something like that.
What are you on about?
My boys sponsor Rotherham.
Do they?
Yeah.
He has like a minute where he just goes on.
Talks all the time.
Tell me about your philosophy on life, see what he thinks about that.
Right, Jordan's always complaining, right? Let's see if a man of a little bit of like intellect can understand this. All right. So I said this to Jordan, and I'll tell you what Jordan's comeback were, but let me tell you. So I said, he's always complaining about stuff, and I said, look, a guy used to complain about having no shoes until he met a man with no feet. Do you get my philosophy?
I get it, yeah.
Jordan went, well, why the fuck would he need shoes?
Am I right?
I was like,
you're probably wrong
that's
there, mate.
not what I'm on about. I said, it's a case of you complain about stuff until you meet somebody who has it far worse than you have. So just don't complain about the minor things you have. And he went, but why would he need shoes? That'd be the last thing on his mind. I went, why? He went, he's no feet. I'm like, no, it's not what I'm on about.
So have you ever had like a philosophy in football, or like any things you do before?
Any wise words?
Yeah, superstitions or anything like that.
I was never into the superstitions like walking out last or doing this or doing that. It was never me. It was just I had my routine before a match day where I had my porridge in the morning, then didn't eat anything till kick off.
You not have anything?
Just a big bowl of porridge in the morning. I didn't want to be too heavy. I mean that was just through eating shed loads before games and not playing well. So that was my.
I was exactly the same. I like to
empty stomach.
Yeah, I'd hate.
Just feel lighter, sharper.
Yeah, definitely.
But in terms of socks over your knees and stuff like that. No, I'm not bothered by anything like that. No superstitions with me. So just get out there, play, and not get too tied up in it. At the end of the day, it's just a job, and I know it's a serious job, but when I was younger, I probably got too caught up in it, too upset after games or too upset injuries. But you just got to get on with life, enjoy it, and just appreciate that you're a professional footballer.
That's the thing, and I think a good thing to get into young lads, especially young pros, is that when you take away the enjoyment and the love of the game, and it's all about pressure and results, your performances aren't like some players thrive on that. Don't get me wrong, and that's their like kind of mentality and their drive. But I reckon most players I meet, as soon as they start losing the actual love of why they started playing football and enjoying it, the performances just go down the drain.
100%. And it's amazing how many that happens to so many lads. That's as a player. There are like Steve Evans. It was just a job. I hated playing for him at the time, but now I've got a lot of respect for him because he is what he is. He's got his philosophy. But could have got other people down playing for a manager that treats you like shit. But he's been successful, and there's a reason why he's done it. And at the end of it, we have a hug and we're promoted. So you've got to be mentally tough as a player, because people do fall out of love with the game so easily, and you've got to enjoy it as much as possible. Because at the end of the day, and that's one thing I'll say to my lads that I'm looking after now: play for as long as you can, enjoy it, because you'll never have anything as good as this for the rest of your life. I love what I'm doing now, but
it's the best job in the world.
Footballer for 20 odd years, it's incredible.
The best job in the world.
So another question that me and Gaz disagree on as forwards: if your team got beat 4-3, but you got an hat-trick, would you be happy?
I myself would be happy, and I'd be happy when I got home.
There we go.
But I'd be pissed off we lost to a certain degree, but I'd still be happy. I can't not be happy after scoring a hat-trick, can you?
I know what you mean, but I'm just saying...
You're always gutted that you lose, but there's a difference between gutted losing 4-3, right? This is going to be horrible to say, but if we lost 4-3, no. If we lost 4-3 and I didn't score, I'd be more gutted.
100%.
That I didn't score.
100%, yeah.
I won't be bothered that we'd lost. I'd be more gutted that we'd scored 3 goals and I hadn't scored one of them goals.
I get what you're saying there. You want to score every game, don't you? And you obviously want to win. And you want to play, but this is what people forget. They talk about it's all about it. It is a team spirit, it is a team, but at the end of the day, you're on your own as a footballer. I don't care what anyone says, you're on your own. You're going to have a great team around you, great teammates, you'll have friends for life, you'll have great managers that you'll also could be friends with for life. But at the end of the day, at some point, these players aren't going to look after you. These managers aren't going to look after you. The fans, the club aren't going to look after you. They're going to kick you to the curb and you're going to be stuck and you've got to provide for yourself.
If you're not scoring, if you're winning 4-3 every week, losing 4-3 every week and you're not scoring, you're out.
100%.
It don't matter. If I've lost a game 4-3 and I've scored a hat-trick, I'm in Panacea in Manchester telling girls I've scored a hat-trick today, buzzing off my tits. Hey, how did you get on? I can't remember the score, but I scored 3.
Got 3.
Yeah, that's all it is, though, isn't it?
I know what you mean. I do know what you mean. You, as a striker, you've got to be selfish. We are the most selfish people on the pitch, we are. But that's why we're strikers. You can't be a striker if you're not selfish.
He loved it last year. Was it last year or year before? He was like, played up front, got 20 assists.
No, I wasn't like that. I wasn't like that.
Who cares about assists?
I was playing up front with a lad who was very selfish, and I'd still got 15 and set him up 20 times. So for me, I was like, I've actually had an alright season, and then I moved to Alty, and that's when I become more selfish. Scored 30 and then scored 23.
And now what's happened since you scored 30? You've doubled your wage.
Yeah, that's the point. No, you get paid more if you score more goals.
You still be on 100 quid a week if you're doing 20
assists. Can we cut that bit out? None of the lads know that.
But no, for every striker that scores 20 plus goals. When I scored 20 odd goals for Rotherham in our promotion season, the only reason I got 20 plus goals was because I played up front with Alex Revel. I mean, he was a dream to play up front with. He worked his nuts off. He won every flick on possible, and I just got on to the end of everything. And he was a dream, and he probably got, I don't even know if he got double figures, but he's almost more important to a team sometimes. But I wouldn't have got them goals without him. So it is part of a team. It is a team mentality. But if you can get, that's the way it's partnerships, isn't it? So partnerships in football are key.
It just depends what kind of striker you are, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like a Niall Quinn and Phillips. Everybody appreciated Niall Quinn because he provided Phillips.
Yeah, but when you're that player, you've got to give everyone a nudge and say, "See that knockdown?" You've got to get it in somehow.
Yeah, but then some people go, "Oh, did you set up the goal?" I didn't notice. Everyone remembers who scores.
You go on amazing, take about 10 players, pass it across for a tap in, and remember the goal scorer.
Yeah, remember the goal scorer, and the goal scorer's in the paper.
That time, it was a belter. He's put it like rocket volley top bin, but no one sees the 6-yard ball and I just chest it down for him.
Oh, yeah.
No one's asked about it. He's just
no one's putting great chest down.
It's true.
You're right now. You are right there.
I know. I'm just saying. I think it's a striker mentality.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Maybe I'm a winger there.
Yeah. So you've ended up in Wales at Bangor.
Yeah.
Now I once took a girl to Wales to Bangor.
I knew it was coming.
That's terrible.
Yeah. Hey, I can get that joke in everywhere all the time. But no, you did end. So how did you find the difference between obviously league football in England and then the professional league in Wales?
It still says you play there now as well.
Does it?
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah. It was all right. I mean, I had a couple of offers from lower league clubs for a lot less money, and Bangor was the perfect option for me. They paid decent money, and I could start my new career, and it paid bills and what have you while I was doing it. Part-time, trained on a Wednesday, played on a Saturday. There's some, and to be honest, there's some really good players on that level. Really good players that I still think could play at a much higher level.
Yeah.
But they're just comfy there because they're getting paid good money and
really
they've got
good,
a job as well.
Yeah.
Which
that's the thing. Like some lads, if you're like, they might be on £1,000 a week with the job and the football, especially in Wales.
Oh, easy.
Pay decent money, so they're not going to give that up to go and sign.
What's
for a
the
League
point?
2 on 450 quid, are you?
Exactly, and that's the way. And I totally understand that. If I was a young lad coming through, who was never going to play any higher than say League 2 or something like that, and I'm getting offered non-league 500 quid a week and then get 500 quid a week in my job, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Why would you do that and go and play for 600 quid for a League 2 team? It doesn't make sense. And that's where I was. I was not going to chase the dream anymore. I'm 33 years old. Start my new career. Kick on. It was a smooth transition for me.
Very good. So I'm just going to ask you about when you played. Obviously, you got the phone call from Wales.
Yep.
3 appearances. Says
4 actually. It's
4.
wrong. That's wrong. Yeah, 4 appearances.
Wikipedia's
It's wrong.
I
got 4.
Start doing more.
I beat my dad. My dad got 2. I got 4. So
You told him to be better as well.
Yeah, did you?
What's your dad's name?
Donato.
It's like a teenage
Donato Nardiello.
Donato Nardiello.
Ninja Turtle, isn't it?
Porn star.
Hey, if you Google him and look at his porno tash when he was a player, honestly,
Really?
he could have passed as a porn
Is it as
star.
good as Corey's? Look at that. Wow. That's a horrendous
that is
Check
belter.
yourself on the camera there.
He's been growing that since he was 13, he said. It's like literally fluff.
Yeah. It's beautiful. That.
Beautiful, isn't it?
So,
Donato Nardiello.
Donato Nardiello.
What a guy.
How good's that name?
Yeah.
If that's your dad, you've got to be a footballer, haven't you?
100%, yeah. And my uncle was Gerardo and Filicetto, all Nardiello's footballers. So, yeah.
Is that Italian?
All Italian, yeah.
All Italian.
So can you not have played for Italy?
I could have.
Was that in there?
Yeah.
Did you mention that?
Oh yeah, parents, Italy. Yeah.
Italy.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not much chance of that.
Nah.
Well, 14 there might have been. 14,
Well, yeah, at a
15.
young level, I think, yeah. But I mean,
Definitely.
yeah.
But you're going to choose England though, I suppose, when you were...
No, when you was 18 and on the bench for United, if you'd have belled Italy, they probably would have had a crack at you, wouldn't they?
I've always chosen Wales, if I'm honest.
Would you?
Yeah.
Would you?
I played for them, didn't I?
Yeah.
So
Through
was
choice.
you back with Giggsy at this point?
Yeah, so he was great when I got my first call up. He was straight over to me, talking to me, asking how things are going, stuff like that. And it was great going on some of them, tours. Again, I was on the bench an awful lot and never came on. The best shirt I've got is Van Nistelrooy. So we played Holland away in was it Rotterdam? I think it was. It was an experience. I was going to tell the story then, but I better not because the guy's married.
Brilliant.
Don't mention any names.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I got Van Nistelrooy's shirt at the end of the game. So he came over to me before the game. He goes, "Oh, I saw your name on the team sheet. You're at QPR now, blah 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 blah." And he ended up saying, "Can I have your shirt after the game?" So I've got this Dutch, pre-European Cup kit at home with Van Nistelrooy in the back. But he was a legend, Van Nistelrooy.
What a player he was, wasn't he?
But even as a guy, like he always used to help the young lads. Him and Teddy Sheringham, I'd probably say, were the two that helped me the most. Coming through the ranks at United, they spoke to me, they watched the games. And stuff
right. So Van Nistelrooy remembered you at United, and then obviously spotted your name.
Yeah.
Oh, what a guy! That's good, isn't it?
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Came straight over to me, and I was thinking again. I thought, would he remember me? But he actually came over to me in the warm up before the game.
Say to the lads.
He was at Real Madrid at the time.
Was
I
there?
asked him about how that was, and he was asking about QPR. I said, "Can I have your shirt?" He gave me the shirt at the end of the game. And I've got that. So I've actually played, sometimes playing in the
Did you not ask
five-a-side.
why you haven't gone to Puerto Rico and chose Wales? That's brilliant, that though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Even just Van Nistelrooy knowing who you are, things like that. It's brilliant.
You actually come on for
someone who's got a very is a looker, bit of a looker. Like,
can you remember his name?
Pin-up boy. You replaced him. Got gnashed like me.
Can you not remember his name?
Against, who was it against?
It was against New Zealand.
Was it Earnshaw?
Yeah.
The Nash just give it away, yeah.
Robert Earnshaw.
Another pin-up.
Yeah, he was, yeah. He
What
turned
a
up. I remember
player
he
were, though.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So, somebody told me a fact. This is another fact. I don't know if it's true. But
I've just made up.
he's the only player to score a hat-trick in every league, including the Premier League, and for his country.
Oh, wow.
You can Google
It's
that,
decent,
folks.
that, yeah.
But yeah, supposedly it's there.
Who did he play for in the Prem? Because I remember he was good.
West Brom.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, he was a good player. He could see.
Scored hat-trick in every league.
Now I remember signing him on Championship Manager, and he was very good. But someone said that you was also very good.
I'm a Championship Manager legend, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Shame he didn't turn out that way, but yeah, absolutely.
So
I get that on Twitter all the time.
The free transfer would be like, get Nardiello in first.
Scored for fun. I remember playing for United under 18s, or under 19s it was back then, and the referee came up to me and said, I've just sold you to Juventus for 25 mil.
on Championship Manager.
Yeah, so
the referee.
Yeah. You've just represented
I still remember
your
that,
country.
walking out of Carrington and
Puerto Rico.
Yeah. It was, but yeah, I loved that game. I didn't have to cheat on myself.
Did you play yourself?
Of course I did, yeah. Signed myself for everyone. It was good because I didn't have to cheat. I was actually quite good on there, so I didn't have to make myself brilliant. It was good.
What were your assets on there?
I just scored goals.
Was it?
Yeah, I just remember my finishing was like 19 or something.
Before, definitely.
Yeah.
I never used to play stuff like that.
I was one of them wonder kids on the game.
Yeah.
I wish I did, but and now I'm a financial advisor in Manchester City Centre. There you go.
Yeah, but still had a brilliant career though, pal.
Oh yeah, I was lucky to do what I did, and I really enjoyed it. So yeah.
And you've had like a very smooth, it seems, transition out of football, unlike some other people that we've spoke to.
Yeah.
They sort of struggle after it.
Well, that's one of the things I try out with the lads that I do look after, because I've had a couple of lads that I'm looking after now. One of the lads I've had recently, or don't look after because there's no help in some of them. He was clearing 15k a month, after tax, clearing 15k a month with his wages, and he spent every penny of it. Every month. Didn't own a house, 3 or 4 cars, gambling, nights out, girls. And I've tried my hardest there, but there's just that's why these young lads need as much help as they can, because like you said, lads come to the end of the career and they ain't going to earn 10 grand a week when they finish playing football. So they need to look after it now. Even if you're on, even if it's like $1,000, 1,500, they're not going to earn that kind of. Well, they might do, but you've got to look after it for that short period. Some lads are brilliant. Some lads are unbelievable. So a couple of young lads, 20, 21 years old, who literally save every penny, and they'll be, when they finish playing football, even if they continue just to earn what they're in now, they'll earn a lot more. But if they stayed the same, they'll be quids in by the time they're 34, 35. Yeah. Whereas there's, on the opposite end of the scale, there's a lot of problems in football. There's not much help. With the gambling, the women. I mean, even to the drugs to a certain extent. You know what I mean? There is problems that are rife in football, and the PFA are starting to do more, which is great. So, but the lads need help.
Well, that all just comes from money, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like the amount of money that a lot of the young lads are just given, and they're mollycoddled now, so they don't literally learn the ways of the world. Everything's done for them, so they don't, like I say, they don't probably think about the pitfalls of gambling and dabbling in drugs and stuff like that. It's just
it's too much money for some of these young lads to have. I mean, I my first contract at United was great, but I didn't know what to do. I was lucky I had mum and dad who guided me and helped me. Whereas some of these guys don't have that, so they need as much help as they can.
There's a lad on our team who he gambles on tennis matches that much that his mum and dad still have to take his money off him now. And he's
Seriously?
like 28. And they give him like so much.
It's true though, mate. It's true. People get
why tennis? Because he can't gamble on the football games.
Yeah, he can't.
So he just gambles on tennis.
And he always says, no, they can't draw. So I'm like, they can't draw, but you still fucking lose.
Yeah.
So
it's scary, man. It's scary how much these lads can lose in such a short period of time.
He's had a few dark days off it, So now his sister's got his bank account or something and sends him however much he needs a week. So when we're going on a lads' night out, he's like, I'll text my sister, see what I can get. So, it's just like, look, it is bad, but
it is bad, but
you just give up, wouldn't you? At that stage, when you're like that, you should just give up.
It's problems.
Yeah, it's problems. Well, mate, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. From Man United, sharing dressing rooms with Giggsy and Scholes to Van Nistelrooy and
Puerto Rico,
ended up in Bangor.
Yeah.
Mate, what a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, some really good stories, and really appreciate you coming in to see us.
Yeah,
no problem at all. Cheers.
Top man, Daniel Nardiello.
That's all right.
Good one.
Good.
Enjoyed it.
Very good. Did
you?
Really good. Yeah.
We'll slag him off when he's gone.
I still can't believe he chose Wales.